Okay, don't look at the resemblance. I might look a little bit like our mate in St. Helena, but not exactly the same because I'm wearing glasses. Anyway, that's the oldest resident, no, the oldest living animal in the world. So they say. But then again, depends what's an animal, what's a mammal, and all those sorts of issues. Because there's some sharks in the Arctic that are bloody hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. So anyway, but yeah, that was a bit of fun. And if we just come back here, there he is, Jonathan, 192 years old. But as I say, there's some sharks that they've found. I forget which ones they are in the Arctic. 300-400 years old, they reckon, even longer. And there's some whales up there that have still got harpoon heads stuck in them. From hundreds of years ago. Anyway, there they are, the 580 fleet with Jonathan. Looks like Christian taking a photo of Josh with Jonathan, obviously a VIP. And this is the gang at the St. Helena Yacht Club. And the clubhouse is actually quite old, been there for a long, long time, obviously. Really cool place by the look of it, never been there. And they've got some restoration plans. They're trying to do some stuff, and they've got a GoFundMe that they've launched to try and raise some money to help them do the conservation. I'll put the link up on that as a post. So if you're inclined to think they're pretty good and you want to send them $10 or $20 or something, might be a good opportunity to help with the club. But I'm sure the team there increased the coffers of the bar. Who knows what? Strange place, eh? Looks really fascinating. That's the main town going up the valley. Amazing. Imagine Napoleon being taken there from Paris to live out his last days in isolation. At Jacob's place, Jacob's Stairs, looking down there, pretty cool. The anchorage, only a few boats left now. I think there's only 4 boats left there. Jasmine hasn't left yet. This was just a reminder to let you know we're still looking at the issues of the Selden spreaders on the mast. We want to resolve that now. We know what's going on. In my own mind, we had the situation in Fiji where we discovered a few things, particularly the lower cap shrouds. They're the second part. So the cap shrouds come down from the masthead into the ends of the spreaders, and then they're meant to go straight down to the deck. But quite a few of them are actually angling forward, and we've discovered that the chain plates fitted on the boats are a bit all over the place. In fact, it's amazing. I did the summary, and I'll release it later in a builder's update going out to all the builders. But I mean, we're not talking about a little difference. Some of them are like that far different boat to boat, which is a bit of a joke, really. Anyway, that's life. And so we worked out the averages. We're talking to Selden about it now. We were just waiting for them to come back to us on that and to get their base format that they've designed the rig to, and then we'll decide the best way forward. But there's no question with the failure of all the spreader ends of the extrusion. It's not in the mast, they have the mast going up and you have a member that goes through the mast, like a solid stainless steel piece that has the bit sticking out, and then the extrusion fits over the stainless steel bit sticking out, and there's one pin in that. And of course, that allows a little bit of movement of the spreader extrusion, which is splitting the end. And so all the spreaders basically have had quite considerable work done to them, doubler plates and welded, blah, 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 blah. And they seem to be settling now, but it's cost a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of worry. And we don't want to be going through that process again. So we've stopped ordering rigs since July, and we've got a few boat builders now. Where's my rig? Where's my rig? And for whatever reason, we just wanted to see how it went going to Cape Town. That's okay. So then we had to wait for Christmas to finish, and we started the conversation now. So hopefully it'll be resolved in the next week. There is a builder's update I wanted to get out last week. There was another issue slowing it up, but it'll be out the next day or two. And I'll do the Q&A. I was going to do it yesterday, but a few things came up, and I forgot about it for a few hours, and then it was going to go out last night. And I thought, oh, bugger it, I'll do it today. So sometime this morning, I'm just waiting for another delivery. As soon as the delivery comes, that's the trigger. Once I've got that, I'll sit there and do the Q&A for YouTube and Facebook. I haven't even looked at what questions were there from YouTube. Might not be many, but there's a few there from a few there from Facebook, so that's cool. And we've got some boats at sea. What else is happening? Boot is on. Don't forget the 580 at Boot, hull number 66 from Thomas. He's there. Apparently, it was causing quite a stir yesterday. They were, uh, they were all very excited about that. So, oh, gee, there's a lot of interest. So, and I haven't heard how Christian's talk went, and he was calling in and so on. So anyway, all kind of good. And I didn't get any feedback from John, caught in that weather that was looking like a cyclone. I'm not sure what he's up to totally. I'll send him a message today and see how he's doing or whatever. But that was a bit of fun. So, okay, that's the general picture. You're on the tracker now, and I'm going to go over to my tracker. Okay, 329 days have been out, nearly 330 days. Quite amazing. So, lots of things going on in the background for Transat and MGR, which will come around pretty quick by the look of it. Okay, so there's our boats. The last one's away was Eric. So he's now gone just in the last few hours by the look of it. And let's just have a look here. I'll make this a little bit bigger and we'll see who's left. I've been talking to Susan, Jasmine's mum, about when she's due to leave, and I think she's leaving this morning sometime. She didn't plan on having a big delay. I think she was just wanted to leave in the morning so she can get another good night's sleep instead of early hours or something like that anyway. So I think it's just Entrant, Jasmine and Josh left at the moment. Let's have a look here. I could use a process of elimination, but anyway. Yes, it's Entrant, Jasmine, Josh, and there's another one there, Kerry. Okay, so Kerry, Entrant, Jasmine, Josh, all still sitting there, and Eric's just got away. So there's Eric. Oh, get off of there. And we'll put the weather back, put the wind in, although it's very much trade wind stuff. And there is Eric. So Eric currently doing 4.2. Beautiful trade wind, probably good seas, and he's showing negative 15 miles. He hasn't, it's not his fault, but I'd say something's locked over there. Is Christian on negative? No, he's on positive. So I think it's just a confusion at the start because he's only been out, if he's only done 15 miles, he's been out for probably about 3 hours or so or something like that. And that should sort itself out. But anyway, he's underway, which is kind of cool. And then here's the rest of the fleet, all at sea, having a lot of fun. Christian, 6.1 knots, done 127 nautical mile a day in the last 24 hours, and he has been out for 24 hours. Not too bad. Adam, doing 5.2 and 132 mile day. Oh, jeeps, I was just about to say he's closing in on. Oh, I think that might have been delivered. Closing in on. Just stand by. Stand by. I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, got another delivery. Boom, boom. So where were we? I was just going to say Adam's done pretty well, 132, and there you go. Peeler has done 137 nautical mile a day, 5.7. Bit of breeze coming up there by the look of it, a bit of the yellow up the front. Jacob, 5.5, 134 mile day. They're moving nicely. Dan got a big ad for his boat in the local press in Adelaide for 69,000 Australian dollars or euros, which is on the websites. Just go to the front page and you can pick up on all the boats that are for sale. I think 4 are sold now, but no one's announcing anything. Some great stories for the new owners. Crikeys. One of them is outrageous. Anyway, they'll announce it all later. So Dan, 5.5, 136 nautical mile a day as well. That's not bad. I think Peeler's got my 137. What's Renault doing? I reckon he's done 137. 142. Okay, I believe it. 5.9. Jeepers, he doesn't want to get left behind, that's for sure. So I don't think he's just holding off, just tickety-boo in front of Dan. He's just still going for it. They're having a grand time there, for sure. Let's just see if there's a bit of current involved here. I don't think so. I mean, they're all getting an average little kick. Now, it's really not a lot there. It's a little bit, but the triangulation there, the benefit going forward is probably only worth a couple of miles, 2 or 3 miles maybe. And they're all going to get a little bit of it. So it's not about current, it's about sailing. Any rain? Let's see the clouds. There's something going on there. Let's just come back and we'll look at the weather in the next couple of days. Oh, it's a bit of a mixed bag, eh? Hang on, did I get a... Oh, it's Renault. I wonder if Renault's listening to this. Hang on. That's his report. So why don't you call in, Renault, if you're watching this? If you're watching, give us a call. I want to find out why you're going so fast. That ding was Renault just sending his entrant report in. So, yeah, there's a bit of a mixed bag there with the clouds, eh? I was talking to Susan, when Jasmine swam around the island, she got really rubbish weather. You know, if you're trying to do it normally, I'm sure she would have waited for good weather, but she was on a timeline. And if she got good weather, she might have been able to close that last mile or so. So that was bad luck. Anyway, there's if we look at that and then come to the rain, there may be a little bit of rain there as well. And we've looked at current, clouds, pressure, temperature. Should be quite pleasant. Yeah, that's in the high 20s. We're getting all the things beginning now. Temperature, back to the wind, sea. Where's the waves? Here we go. All pretty good. Yeah. Okay, while we're there, I'm just going to quickly zip through on the waves. Yep, it's all dying down. So we'll come back to the wind and look at that for the next couple of days. I'll go down a little bit smaller. It looks like it's lightening off. Brenda's sending me pictures or something from the... Oh, that's his departure pictures. Okay, so the breeze at the moment, there's the little patches of the stronger stuff. When it's yellow, it's in the 28s, gusting 30-something. Sea state's still down, so that's kind of nice. That's probably why Renault is doing 142-mile days. Jeepers, they're fast. I look back and think, used to, when we were coming up with the concept, I set a 100-mile day average, 700 miles a week. I don't think there's a week gone by they haven't done 1,000 miles in a week, which is amazing. That was half the Cape to Rio race fleet was not doing much better than that. But anyway, that's another story. Someone went very fast. Anyway, I'm losing track here. So there's the weather today. I'm going to push that through every 3 hours. It's softening off. You can see that straight away. There goes the 20th and 24 hours. So it's still holding nicely. Yesterday it was showing that the last boat's leaving going to be real soft, but I think it's pretty reasonable. It looks like though it is a little bit less, but there's enough there to keep hull speeds to max if they've got their spinnakers up and things like that. Beautiful sailing direction. Let's just have a look, going all the way to Recife here, just so you can see what's going on. There's Recife. Trade winds, beautiful stuff. And now if we just push that through on a daily basis, trade winds holding, getting a bit softer. This is traditionally softer on this part of the leg from the first part going to St. Helena. You could expect to have softer breezes, but it's holding there pretty well. 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. There's sort of nearly 10 days there, and it is getting a little bit softer, but it's a nice 10-day boost. And there is only from Renault to Recife, you've got 1,500 miles to go for Renault. So that's going to be, let's say that's about 10, 11, 12 days. We're on the 19th of January, so it's still going to be early. First few days of February, cheapest. Then they got 19 days. You can have a big holiday in Brazil. That's pretty cool for the leaders anyway. I think the others will come in on 3rd and 4th, maybe the 5th, but all looking good. Okay, so that's it. We'll start looking at the leaderboard and so on once everyone's at sea, because that'll still be accurate, working out the relevant times and positions going into Recife. There's not a lot more I can tell you there. I'm just saying on the you back on me. You should be. Yep. It's amazing, eh? The stopovers and everything really work out pretty cool. I mean, they all hate leaving because they have such a good time when they get there. It's a 7 day stopover in St. Helena. But I think that the timing, that's like traveling, when you get somewhere, I could stay here for another 3 weeks. You'd probably get bored if you were there for a long time. And certainly they could probably spend more time there. But having a one week stopover, 7, 8 days is kind of nice because it keeps the pressure on. You get out there, have fun, and then you get going again to the next place and go to Brazil. Now, Entrant will like Brazil because there's more civilization, and restaurants and things like that. But the Carnivale's coming up, and apparently it's a big one. So they're going to be right in the thick of that, which is kind of fun for them. So I'm sure they'll have some stories, and they'll be looking forward to a new destination, another exotic place they would normally never go to. I've never been there, but I will get there. So, okay, entrant reports here now. Oh, I just saw something here. I'm going to put a post up on this. Have a look at this. A picture. Can you see that? See that? That's Tim Darney, local guy here in Lassade Delone, just launched his. This is a timber boat. It's not a kit built boat, but it's got CNC cutting. It's a timber boat. Just launched his Scourbow Mini Transat boat for 2027. He built it himself, plywood, like the 580, but built a bit more sophisticated, bit of carbon fibre, and it took him 1,700 hours, which is really amazing because it's an incredible boat. It's actually super hot. It's going to be very interesting. So he'll be in the proto class of the next Mini Transat. I'll put a post up. You'll see it. I'll probably put it up on the Transat site if you keep an eye on that because it's more relevant to the Atlantic. But anyway, sorry I digress. But yeah, very impressed with that. He launched it on Saturday, and we went down and had a look. Okay, so well done, Tim. Okay, Brenda March from Sunbear. That was just his start time confirmation. His Citran teddy bear photo. They've all got to give us confirm their start times. Just send us their photos and stuff, and they send us photos of their Leclos, but I'm not sure what that photo is there. And flags flying and all that sort of stuff. This is what they do just to send us, just to confirm they're doing the right thing, which is great. So off in the dark, but Eric will like that. It's dark in the early hours of the morning. It's not a bad way to go. So Eric is underway. Entrance report. So I think we've only got one from Renault. And it's in French. And it just came in. So ambiance de contraste for Capuchinet, musique fondue 80. Oh, jeepers, you got me this time, Renault. Ambiance means the atmosphere. Capuchinet, music from the 80s. Sounds like he's listening to music from the 80s. This is my English translation, and I'm not AI. But it sounds like he's doing that, and it possibly reminded him to mention Le Rechaud Fonctionnaire Merville. Rusty, I think he's talking about the music he's listening to. So here, parfait, tonic me, Recife. I think he had. I think something along the lines of in Recife, he was reminded of the good old days because it's no skyscrapers and modern bits and pieces. Everything's back in the 80s, which is one of the attractions to the island, I'd say. Pretty nice. Don her nu hit de lune tête de etios. No, got me. I'll translate that later. That's the only one that we've got there. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, great to see they're underway, having a good time. And remember, for those who just turned up, I will do the Q&A. I just got my delivery, so I'll go and have some breakfast and then come back. And before I get stuck into it, I'll do the questions. So Um, um, G'day, Larry, lady. Hi, Don. Could the mast bases not be level? I was watching Mike Moyer's blog last night. Mike Moyer's blog, I haven't seen that. He had some issues. It seems complex to get the base flat and level. It's not complex. It's just get the base flat. It is level. It's meant to be flat and level. But obviously, if you've got the deck running in certain areas, I mean, it's not hard to get a level. You just use two bits of hose and water, one into the other, and it is close together. But once you can, if you're trying to get a level on a short piece, because the mast base is only about that long, right? What you can do is just use a bubble float or something that's about a metre wide. And if you as long as your boat's level, you've got to start off with a datum point. If you've got a concrete floor and the floor is level, then everything after that goes level. And if you don't have a laser level, you can just use hose and you put water in it, clear hose, and both ends of the hose sticking up will be at the same water level. And so you put both of them together on a piece that's a metre long, and then you can line up make sure your mast base is the right thing. But it's not a leveling situation, and even then, the mast it's a position. The positions are like this, and I think well, I shouldn't say too much, but let's just say there is a group that are virtually within millimetres of each other, right? Which tells me that they're all reading the plans right and they're doing the measure right. And then there's a whole bunch of them which are like, up to 8 centimetres out, right? Which is, you sort of think, well, if there's this bunch are nearly identical all the way, then obviously, without going to the plans even looking, then it'd be unusual if they're all a mistake going the same way. They could be, I don't know. But we'll soon find out. All we're trying to establish is two things. One is what the standard base that Selden are using to design the rig, because we've given them the plans and they've come up with something, and they said the mast is going to be there, so therefore the chain plates are going to be there, and there's the stem there, and then that's how it works. And in reality, then people building the boats, they're a little bit different, and so on. We had the benefit when we did Tracker, we were the first ones to fit a rig, so I actually took the boat to the rigger, to the yard, about a couple of hours drive away, and they measured it up off the boat. So they got all their laser levels out and did all the measurements, got it all done, and it was designed for that. And it's all perfect, and that's just a one-off. But then, of course, Selden, we gave them the plans and went from there. So I'm not saying that Selden haven't done anything wrong in relation to the position and the interpretation of the plans. The issue there is the spreader base, the spreader connections to the mast, and we need to do something. And with respect to Selden, the other issue is that the section sizes are quite small, because it's not a big boat, even though the displacements are up around 1.2 ton or something. And so normally a boat like that isn't doing 30,000 miles around the world. Little boats, they're sort of like, they might do ocean racing even, and, a few hundred miles here and there and this and another. But we are absolutely taking it to the limit, and they're still there, touch wood. We haven't had any major structural issues. So we're sort of half saying to Selden, so look, we're a special case now. What are we going to do? How are we going to sort out the spreader bases? Because in all honesty, I can't expect anyone to buy a rig, and we won't let them buy rigs yet from Selden. And Selden rigs aren't mandatory. You can any sailor, any 580 builder can go and build their own mast if they want. All they've got to do is use an approved section, and then they can build their own mast, get their own rigger to build it for them or work with them, and design their own spreader base and do their own thing. It's just that Selden is a good mast that is extremely well priced, because we try and order them in batches, and it's done with the CNC machines, and it's all done, and they are great with logistics. The way they're packaged and exported and all that sort of stuff. We've only ever had, I think, one, maybe two problems in transit, and it's not Selden's fault, it's a transport company, but it's generally handled really well. And their service is pretty good, we've had a few little things, but I'm not bagging Selden. They do pretty well. So we're just trying to get on top of it, and we're about to resolve the issue in the days ahead. So anyway, g'day Mike Gay, good to see you there. G'day John, morning from Orlando. Okay, how's Jazz doing today? Apparently she pulled up pretty well. Susan, I haven't spoken to her. I just spoke to Susan a couple of times. They just issued a press release and stuff, and she seems to be okay, because I said, you can have as much time off as you want. Tell us when you're ready, because I'm thinking if it was me, I'd be shattered. I'd need a couple of days, but Jasmine wanted to leave at the right time, and all the message I got back was, so she might leave a few hours later rather than leave in the middle of the night or something, and take it in the morning. So it'll be a few hours, that's all, and then she's away. I don't think she wants to get behind the fleet as well, so that's cool. Did you do the Q&A? No, I didn't, but I'm going to do it today. I mentioned it at the beginning of this one. Yeah, I know Mike built some bear, but I didn't know Mike's doing a blog. Give us the link for the blog. I'll see what he's talking about. It might not be 580, so I don't know. I didn't know that one. Anyway, all good. Good luck to the guys at the boat show. Thanks for doing all that. It's pretty good for the class, good for everyone. And we want to see more classes. I don't know why the Aussies haven't got together, but we're not getting strong feedback from there on anything happening. So we only respond to enthusiasm and passion. So I'm not sure. We'll just let them do their own thing. They've got great boats. Maybe they're going to come up to Fiji or whatever. We'll talk about it more. So the Aussies should have an association. The Spanish started one, but it never got official, so I don't know what happened there. And the UK sailors, what are you doing? You've got plenty of boats there, and that's really, you guys could have some fun with that. So we're not going to, it's not for us to set it up, but you could have some fun if you do. And I'm going to see a few of the UK builders at the Jester Challenge symposium on 21st, 22nd of February. Looking forward to that. So I'll start trying to set the seed. You guys, it should be a UK one, an Australian one, a Spanish one, and a German one's on fire, and so it goes. So I remember I've been involved with building planes and boats and stuff, and my first boat building thing was a ferro cement concrete boat, and we had an association there in Adelaide. There was truckloads of concrete boats being built. I was building one, replica of Shahali, and it was kind of fun because you'd meet up once a month. You just get together once a month and have, talk boats, and you learn a lot from all of that. I learned a truckload. I was only 18, 19 then. Learn a truckload, and then when we were building planes, there was a experimental builders association, and the same thing. You used to go around, and we used to have the meetings at someone's place that was building a plane, right? So you'd all rock up to their place, and they'd usually put on tea and coffee and do whatever, and you'd go down in the shed and say, wow, look at this, and you see what they're building and what engine they're using and how they connect the flaps and the flaperons and all this sort of stuff. And it was really cool. And so you could do it once every couple of months, go and check out the other builders' boats or whatever. Anyway, it's all fun. So thanks for that. Have a good day, and I'll do the Q&A this morning in the next few hours. So thanks for that, and we'll see you later. Like, share, and join, and do everything. We're only running at about 27% of the people who are using and enjoying the Facebook thing of actually following. So if you can like and share and stuff, that's good. See you later.